This is a Walker tutorial for someone specifically. I figured I would post it to my YouTube channel. And if it helps someone else, that's great. But again, I really don't need much for critiquing. This is not a professional tutorial of a Walker mower. This is just for someone's specific machine for them to have as a referral. We're going to start it up front. These pins, they have rubber spacers down there to help with the slamming. Customer already had it set where he preferred it. You want all four of these pins the same. That's your height of cut. Obviously, we've already talked about this. You can pull that out on one on each side, and then the mowing deck flips up. You lock this into this right here. Very straightforward. There are a lot of grease fittings. There are grease fittings everywhere in a Walker. That is something you want to check. If this is a MT23, it has a collection system on the back. If you're mowing and it gets plugged up, you need to shut the machine off, dump what's in it out, flip the mowing deck up, which I just told you about, and put your hand up there in that chute once everything's off and unclog it. And sometimes you need to come over here and unclog that as well. That is a metal blower in there, so you definitely want to make sure the machine is off. When it comes to opening the front part, obviously the back just tips up. The customer wrote push here. I only have one hand, so I already unclicked it. You would push down with this hand because there's tension, and then you would pull up on that to flip this up. So if you push down with your left hand and pull up on the lever with your right, it'll pop right up. If anything ever happens and you need to freewheel it, you flip this little guy and pull this lever, and then also right here on this side, that freewheels your hydros. So you could push this machine. I'm not going to go over everything, but basically, if you ever want to mulch, this is a collection, in the back, right here, you can unplug these wires, which has something to do with running your collection system. You unplug that, and there is this that you install in the back, which keeps the door open. And basically, I believe it disengages your blower motor, and the grass basically plugs up down bottom, and it forces your mowing deck to mulch, which is what he did in the spring of the year. Now we need collection, so we're going to leave that alone. I'm going to push this back down. We're going to flip this back down. We're going to get ready to mow, so we're going to flip this back down. And I'm going to go over here and just going to show you controls on starting it. Go over the controls and starting it itself. This is the cap for the air cleaner. Make sure this doesn't get broken. This is your brake. This is your throttle. And this is your mower. You always engage your mower very slow. These machines have a lot of torque, they're shaft drive, and you will break the shear bolts if you pull on it all at once. You want to ease when you turn this machine on. It has a lot of power for the size of it. So we're going to go over here. Obviously, throttle, choke. I turn the choke on. I turn the throttle on to about half. That is an oil pressure light. Obviously, it's not running, so. So I shut the choke off immediately once it started. I usually let the machine warm up for a minute in low. And then when you go to mow, you need to turn that on high and you want full power. So just as a demo here real quick, once you take the brake off, it's ready to run. So we're going to take the brake off. Normally I would hold the levers like this. With one hand, I have my camera in the other, so I can't do that right now. And then I would push forward with the lever, which obviously as soon as we push, we're moving. And when you pull back on these levers, it stops or reverses your movement. If you do any of this, it moves your tires. It's very touchy. Hold right on, I'm going to show you real quick. I just put that on more of a full power scenario. That is how you drive a walker. You do it with one hand on the controls, and the other hand needs to be on this power controller. If you do not do that, if both hands are running the joystick, one on either hand, and you have an emergency, you cannot shut your power off and you're out of control. And then, like I said, when you go to turn the mower on, I'm going to put this up on full power. If you pull that lever all at once, the torque will snap those shear bolts right off. And then you're going to break some blades. The big important thing you want to keep in mind so you don't tear up grass when driving is you want both tires moving as you're turning. You want your inside tire turning backwards and your outside tire turning forward. That is how you do a true zero turn. If we're gonna turn this one but not turn this one, look at that. That's all it did, is burn a hole in the lawn, you know, gave it a noogie. So I'm gonna call it good for right now. Again, this is not a professional video for, you know, the masses. This is kind of specific for one or two people. But if you bought a walker, I hope this answered some of your questions. I'll probably do another video very soon on my personal walker to go over it in more detail. Thank you. Bye.